Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. First things first, Tony Khan, if you're not watching my review, you should be. I'm bored. I'm absolutely bored. To be honest, for me to say I'm bored, there's a problem. I obviously subscribe to Ring of Honor. I've gone to your shows, spreading the gospel of AEW on here, doing reviews and live streams to pretty much, I guess, I don't know, have fun with other people talking about pro wrestling. And for whatever reason, Ring of Honor, it just fell back to where it was prior to them having that residency in Texas. And to be honest, it's just boring again. And it's not to say anything negative towards the wrestlers itself. You know, you're putting out a weekly show. You're having people pay for this weekly show. So you want to give people a reason to pay for it. And honestly, I'm at the point where it's just like, I don't know what I'm paying for, to be honest, because the shows are just not giving me what I was hoping for. Now, we started off with a recap from the horror show from Dynamite last night, which was the Ladder Wars match where Chris Jericho ended up taking the title from our Sussex County Chicken, Mark Briscoe. I can't even believe it. Actually, I could kind of believe it. I don't know what that's about. Do I see Chris Jericho actually being on the show? No. However, since it just happened and Ring of Honor was taped probably last week or so, I can understand why Chris Jericho was not on the show. They did show a clip of Mark Briscoe backstage where it looked like he was about to say something, but instead he just looked really distraught about losing. He ends up walking away. Mark Briscoe, you know, I expected a lot more from this title run, and I don't want to blame him on it. I really do feel like, unfortunately, Tony Khan, he's seen, obviously, that Mark Briscoe is a universally liked guy. You can put him anywhere and people will vibe with him. The issue is that for him to do that, he had to take Mark Briscoe away, the Ring of Honor world champion, away from Ring of Honor so that they can put him in this conglomeration foolishness or whatnot. I'm cool with him getting AEW TV time, but that right there hurt the Ring of Honor product by not having their world champion on the show regularly. We started off tonight with the Gates of Agony. Lord have mercy, Bishop Khan. Oh Lord, that man is beautiful. Beautiful man. They went against the Infantry. Now, honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, all right, the Infantry, they had a little talk with Shane Taylor the other couple of weeks ago, and I was like, maybe that's going to light a fire up their ass or whatnot, so I kind of thought that they probably would take the win. But don't forget, this Friday on Rampage, for the couple of us that's watching Rampage, there's going to be a three-way tag match where the Gates of Agony will be going against the Undisputed Kingdom and, damn, somebody else. Who am I missing? It's another team. It'll come to me at some point. Now, they needed this win, obviously, going into that match on Rampage. And I really felt like the Gates of Agony looked strong here. And so did the Infantry as well. However, they've been on quite a bit of a losing streak as of late. And I'm wondering with that, them losing constantly, if that's going to light a fire up their ass and they're just going to be like, you know what, we the Infantry or whatnot, but we're going to go ahead and join Shane Taylor Promotions. That's probably where they're going. We'll see. It's still an interesting story, but just very early on in the stages of this story. Gates of Agony look like a really great team, very great team, and they end up taking the win, which I agree with based off of what's going on AEW. However, if you ask Tony Khan, these are like two different entities, but in some ways, in a lot of ways, he ended up mixing some of these things together. And honestly, it's just like, hey, it's either two separate things or they're together. Make up your mind, Tony Khan. Either way, Gates of Agony takes a win, and the real winner is me by seeing Bishop Khan look so good in the ring. Up next, we have the ladies in action. We have Viva Van versus Reina Isis from CMLL. And I was very excited. I was like, okay, my girl Viva Van, she's getting more TV time. I really, really, really like her. And she's looking for a new home to be at in terms of being signed. And I think she has her eyes set on AEW. We'll see. Now, I was a bit concerned when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. They're supposed to be doing the CMLL Grand Prix, which is actually tomorrow. And I know these two ladies are in it. But then I was like, okay, you know what, Viva Van, she's been on the show quite a few times. She's going to take the win. I ain't worried. And Reina Isis and Viva Van, they have a really great match, great chemistry, a little bit of I guess, a teaser for what's going to happen on CMLL. Now, look, they don't even bring up the CMLL Grand Prix, Women's Grand Prix thing on commentary, despite there being some women from AEW being in that tournament as well. But whatever, y'all know how AEW is. They a little flimsy when it comes to marketing the other promotions that they're so-called partners with. But I still saw Viva Van taking the win. However, she ended up taking an L with a guillotine leg drop. What the fuck? A guillotine leg drop? That's a finisher? I was not feeling that. If she was going to take the win, I felt like something else would have been stronger. A guillotine leg drop while she's holding onto the ropes, pretty much waiting for Reina to come down with the leg drop. Honestly, I didn't think that was a strong finish, but either way, both these ladies looked great throughout the match. The finisher, honestly, could have been better to me. After this, we do have a message from Layla Hirsch, who's been missing ever since the Texas Death Match that she had against Diamante, which was an amazing match. For anybody who didn't see it, go back and check that out. That was at the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view earlier this summer. Now, this was really interesting because she said that she had got injured, but she's back and she's ready to get titles on Ring of Honor. And honestly, I would love to see her win a title. However, the only 2 titles available is for Athena. Athena, I don't know if that title is going anywhere. And then we also had Red Velvet with the TV title, Ring of Honor TV title. So I don't know where that's going. But I will say this, Red Velvet is also going to be part of the CMLL Grand Prix tournament tomorrow night as well. And for whatever reason, they don't mention any of this stuff in support for the ladies that are in Ring of Honor, which absolutely sucks. After this, they kind of waste our time with Rocky Romero with some sports team mascot. I don't know what it is, some bear or something. He comes out to go against Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler, prayers for Brandon. Every once in a while, they remember that he's employed, that he does other things that carry the young fucks bags. So they put him in the ring so he can do something. And honestly, this wasn't really anything anybody cared to watch. Maybe you get a laugh or two out of it from Brandon being silly. But honestly, after not really feeling like you're getting too much with the show anyway, something like this doesn't really feel great. A lot of these matches do feel like they're just dark matches from shows that they just put on the show and just be like, hey, we at least the camera's rolling, let's just give them this and call it Ring of Honor. And sometimes I just don't understand why the fuck we're doing that. And yes, Rocky takes the win. After this, we have tag team action. We finally get EJ Nduka and Lee Johnson to be a tag team. So they teased this about a month ago where EJ had came to the rescue of Lee Johnson from getting his ass whooped. And they teased them possibly being a tag team. And like we're like a month later where they're actually having a match as a team. They go against some poor unfortunate souls from the local area. And this wasn't an exact squash, but I do feel like this was supposed to be an opportunity to show these 2 guys as a team. Individually, they look like great wrestlers. They are great wrestlers in the ring. However, I did not feel like they were a team, if that makes sense. Like that chemistry, those tag team combinations that you should put together throughout the match, I felt like was missing here. And honestly, it could have been better. They take the win with a pop-up spine buster. And honestly, I was just like, it's okay. And that's the only time that we actually really get a chance to see them actually use a move together, which was the finisher. For the first match as a team, I'm going to let that slide, but we're going to have to come put our minds together to be a better looking team. Honestly, truthfully, Ring of Honor could use some more tag teams. And if we get a better cohesive tag team with EJ and Lee Johnson, that would be really, really great. But we still need to focus on being a team in the ring. Still good effort for the first match. Now, we do get a Ring of Honor throwback. And I know people are just like, oh no. Now look, I was okay with it this time. This was the match where Athena won the title against Mercedes Martinez just about 2 years ago at the Final Battle pay-per-view. Really, really great match. I was like, all right, you know what? Yeah, give it a throwback that is related to what's happening currently because Athena is still champion. And then after this, they end up showing Athena's celebration for winning for being the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion of all time. And congrats to her. Now, she comes on out there. She's handcuffed to Lexi Nair again this week. Billy Starks and them is already in there. They have like MIT cheerleaders or security guards, whatever the hell they are. They're already in there. And they end up throwing confetti and all these things. And Athena's not happy with all that bullshit. She just want to get the celebration going. Now, Lexi Nair talking about, oh, before we get started and everything, we have the MIT dance team. I was like, oh, the dance team? Okay, where they at? I thought some pretty girls gonna come out and start dancing, and really it was the useless security guards that are already in the ring that was doing the dancing, and they have no experience dancing apparently. Now, Athena's upset about it, and she's like, oh, you motherfuckers get the fuck out of here. I am trying to have a celebration, and y'all ruining it. Everybody else scatter like flies and leave. And then we have her going on a rant on Billy Starks, talking about Billy ever since I've, been champion and we've been together. I'm seeing this jealousy with you lately, especially since me and Lexi are even bigger, like better best friends or whatever the hell they are, that she's been jealous. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I wouldn't say jealous, but yeah, things have changed. That's true. Now, she's upset. Billy Stark's upset, and she ends up saying, you know what, fuck this. I'm out of here. And she ends up leaving the celebration. And y'all know, when y'all hear somebody celebrating, when y'all hear somebody having a wedding or anything like that in pro wrestling, it's going to get ruined. Now, while they're in the ring, here is Lexi, who unveils a new title for what's her name? Athena. Look at me trying to remember everybody's name. See the new title. It's an old Ring of Honor title, but it has a spinner plate on it of a picture of Athena holding the title. It doesn't look bad. I'm not a fan of spinner belts. I think they are just ugly. So for me, I don't care. But the picture on the title I thought looked great. It's just not for me. Now, she's all happy about it. The crowd is cheering. They like it, whatever. That's them. They have horrible taste, whatever. And then all of a sudden, here comes Abaddon's music. So now they're waiting for Abaddon, and then Athena tells Lexi to hide under the ring. They're still together with that long-ass handcuff chain or whatever, and Lexi's hiding under the ring, but Abaddon never comes out. So then, here is Athena, who's just like, all right, Lexi, let's go. So she goes to take Lexi out from under the ring where she was hiding, and when she pulls the chain, it's Abaddon on the other end of the chain. Whatever happened to Lexi, Lord knows what happened. She's probably dead under the ring, whatever. And obviously they end up getting into a scuffle, and Abaddon is standing tall in the situation. They're still having a feud. Oh, I forgot, she ends up smashing cake on her face. Who's surprised about that? They're feuding still, and honestly, people are still asking Tony Khan when is the final battle pay-per-view, which is usually held in December. We don't have no date, we don't have no venue, no nothing. Tony Khan, come back to Texas, please. I need to see more live wrestling. And we don't know. They've been feuding for a little bit, but nothing has truly gotten much bigger from this feud between these two girls. So we'll see what ends up happening in the future. Honestly, I'm bored. Tony Khan, we could do so much more. You said you got 27 people on your creative team, and honestly, it feels like there's nobody on the team. Well, you know what? There could be 27 people, but nobody's creative. That's what it feels like right now, and I think we could do a lot better. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with a review on Rampage. See you guys then.